Our next speaker has built a monster. He's projected to grow from 0 to $750 million in premium in under 9 years. He's the founder and president of Family First Life, also known as FFL, with over 17,000 licensed agents in all 50 states. 8%, rise to your feet, bring a ton of energy, help me welcome to the stage, Shawn Meaike.
But I wanted Cody to stay up here for a minute because this is case in point, right? We met, what year was it?
Early 2018.
Early 2018. How did we meet?
We met because through leads.
You were selling leads.
That's right.
He was the lead machine. He was selling leads to anybody that made eye contact with him.
That's true.
Fair enough? True.
Fair.
And you told me about this idea you had, right?
Yes.
What did I say?
You said it was a dumb idea.
I said that's the dumbest idea I've heard in a long time. I was wrong, by the way, and I've been wrong plenty. But I need you to understand what Cody, the thing I knew when I said, dude, are you sure? Like, you're selling leads. And honestly, we wanted leads. So in fairness, you're like, well, what did you want? Well, we wanted leads. So like, we weren't so excited about him doing 8%. We needed leads. And he looked at me with this look in his eyes like, no matter what, I'm doing this. And when that happens, you can't get in somebody's way. So I mean, I really am. I'm proud of Amanda. Congratulations, you're unbelievable, and I love you, and you're awesome. And then when that all happened, she's like, you have to come to 8%. You can't say no to Amanda. That's why she won the contest. So
that's right.
But give Cody a hand. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. You got it, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
So here's what I want to talk about in my time. Right? I need. How many of you are Cowboys fans? Okay. You're gonna wish you didn't cheer after this. In 25 years in the National Football League, there are only 3 teams that have won less playoff games than the Cowboys. The Lions, the Browns, and the Washington football team. Yet, the Cowboys are the most valuable NFL franchise at $4 billion, and the Patriots are number 2 at 3.2. Now, think about this. You go, how is that possible? For all of you how many Cowboys fans again? Okay. Would you like them to start winning? Then stop buying all their stuff. And stop going to the games. And stop saying you're a proud fan when they suck. How about that? You want to know why? Because they know that winning is not important to you, and you're going to keep going. But what if you stopped going? What if you decided, I'm not winning, because you don't go to watch them lose, right? Like, do you take your boy John in the game so he can watch them lose? No. And you go, I bet they can't win. Why do they have to? What's their fear of loss? What's the fear of loss? They're by far the most valuable franchise in sports, but they don't win. You have to decide. When I got my insurance license, I didn't get my insurance license to get rich. I got my insurance license to pay my bills. And if you got your insurance license, probably you're all pretty wealthy. See, I needed to pay my bills. Most people that enter this business are trying to supplement their income. And I think that, for me, I was trying to create a sense of urgency for me because I always had a job. I went to my job. Why did I go to my job? Because they'd fire me if I didn't. If I stopped going to work, they would fire me. Most independent people, they become independent, and it's the greatest thing in the world until they don't go to work. Because by the way, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and if I do, I apologize in advance, Cody. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, all the training. There's nothing complicated about this business. It's literally the easiest business I've ever been part of. But I'm sorry, if you want to tell people that it's complicated I think you're lying to them. I think calling people up that need insurance and selling them insurance is really easy. I think recruiting people to sell insurance when people already want insurance and they actually have to have it is easy. The hard part is controlling what it is that you do with you on a daily basis. When you heard those contestants in the contest, what they talked about, and that was one of the things I was listening, because I'm listening for everything, and I'm like, when that young lady started talking about the mentoring I needed was not necessarily what to say on the phone, it was just talk to me about who I am. Talk about my life. Be there for me so I can share. Because sense of urgency just really comes from short-term goals and structure. That's all it is. When I started the business, I wasn't a big getting up an early kind of guy. So my guy used to work in real estate. I said, how do I get up early if I've not tipped? He would get up at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. every day, 7 days a week. And I was like, dude, that's crazy. Because I was going to bed at 3 a.m. How do you get up at 4 a.m. when you go to bed at 3 a.m.? You know what I mean? I was drinking, partying, doing anything you can imagine. And I was like, dude, I can't get up at 4, get up at 3. He said, why don't you do this? Come up with something that will make you get out of bed every morning. At first, I thought it was my job. That didn't work. Sounds weird, right? I was like, nah, I don't know. Then it was like, I should go work out. That didn't work. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to start changing my voicemail every morning. So I'm going to get up every morning, and I'm going to say, hey, you've reached Shawn Meaike. Here's the date. And at first, it would seem stupid to me, but then I kept doing it day after day. And I don't know if the power habits, I don't know. Is it 30 days, 60 days? I don't know. I just know if you start doing something long enough and it becomes part of your routine, you tend to just do it. You know what I mean? Like I'll be sober 22 years, September 24th. Thank you very much. And I don't know when first 30 days sucked, first 120 days sucked, first year, but after about a year or two is like, okay, that's not part of my life anymore. That's okay, that's not who I am anymore. This business is the greatest gift I've seen because it gives everybody a level playing field. That's all I wanted. I wanted to be able to be level with you, and if I outworked you, Josh, then I would do better. And if you outworked me, you would do better than me. I thought that was fair. And if I had a good attitude going into it, then I would do better, right? You control your attitude and your activity. All the other stuff, it's great. I love everything else we do, leads, where we get them. Hey, by the way, if what you're doing is working, keep doing it. I know it sounds so stupid, right? But it's like some guy said to me, well, I'm trying this, but this guy said not to do that. I go, does it work? Yeah, then keep doing it. I had a coach one day, and he said, I hate the way you swing. I hate what you do with your back foot. I hate what you do with your, everything about it. And I said, why don't you ever change? He goes, because you hit 400 and I don't touch it. And I was like, all right. I realized when I went to college, it really did suck because everybody was a lot better. But if something's working, don't touch it and don't change it. Now, why I brought that analogy up at the beginning about the Cowboys is at some point in time, I think you have to change your definition of what's important to you to actually be about you. The reality really is, and please don't take this the wrong way, like I grew up playing ball, baseball, basketball, football. I went to college, played ball, baseball, and I played football. Dude, it's weird that we cheer that much for other people. It's actually, honestly, a little bit unnerving, to be honest with you. One of the most uncomfortable things in my life I experience is watching other men wear another grown man's jersey with his name on it, loud and proud. Walking out of the bathroom loud and proud with some dude's name on the back. It's not his. And I'm like, thank God I'm not drinking again, because I'd say something stupid. And then, you know, I mean, one thing leads to another and people fall down and get hurt. So I don't want that to happen. They fall down and get hurt all the time, you know? That's why when I first got my insurance license, this guy, he was training me. I didn't do this, by the way, because it would have been bad. And he was arguing with the guy on the phone. And the guy was like, you know what? Don't beep and call me ever again. And don't beep and do this and don't beep and do that. And the guy got so mad. He quit after 2 days. He's like, you know what? Your house is 15 minutes from where I'm at. You need to walk outside and practice falling down because I'm coming over to see you. And he hung up, and I looked at the guy next to me, and my buddy, I said, is that how they sell life insurance here? He goes, no, don't ever do that. You'll be fired. When we launched a company, Cody, we were trying to survive. I got my license 14 years ago. I was a social worker for actually 14 years. I worked with abused and neglected children. That's what I did. I probably would have stayed there, except they would change administrations all the time. And make a very long story short, they forced me to remove a child who was safe. He was safe with his godparents. And they forced me to remove him. I didn't want to remove him. I was trying to find a way not to. And then I didn't want to lie to my bosses, but it was uncomfortable. And then I placed him, and he was sexually assaulted. And I was like, dude, I quit. Like, literally, I was like, I quit. I'm out. I quit. They're like, well, the rules said he couldn't stay there. I'm like, no, the rules were stupid. They had history like 30 years ago. I quit. Like, I didn't do this to hurt kids. I did it to help them. So I quit, and I was selling real estate, and when I found this business, I couldn't believe the fact that, A, I hadn't found it earlier. Like, for some of you, there are some of you are, like, found it. I was on a guy outside, he's 22 years old. I'm like, dude, your whole future, like, this will blow your mind if you go out and work everybody. But please don't sit and wait for anybody. Nobody that speaks up here today, nobody, and believe me, including me, I'm by far the biggest offender, is any better at this than any of you are. They're not. I'm sorry if they're not better. They know more things. They've learned. They have some knowledge to share with you. But you can do whatever it is they're doing. The last guy that presented, I don't know, that was very technical. I couldn't do that. He's a very smart guy. So I definitely can't do that. But I don't want to lie to y'all. Like, if you ask me to do that, I can. That's out of my realm, right? But getting people to understand that your business can be as big as anybody's. Literally anybody's. Now, let's start thinking about what people have in common that do well at this. When I listened to Cody on the phone early on, I didn't know what he was doing, but I liked his posture, I liked his presumptiveness, and I liked his fearlessness. That's what people like. And your clients, no matter what they're doing, or your agents are looking for that. That's all they're looking for. They want to know you can deliver them something else. They want to know that you believe in them, and they want to know that you're going to have their back. That when something happens, when it goes down, because the greatest gift your son will ever get from playing ball is being with his buddies and them having each other's backs. That's the greatest gift ever. There's nothing better than that, because you'll yearn the rest of your life for that. Like, those things will be things that will carry you, those memories for the rest of your life. We are now competing in this business, Cody, right? Now that's what we're doing. We compete for our families. Hey, by the way, fairness, we compete with each other. Is that fair? Like, we compete with each other, right? Like, that's okay. I got one clap, thank you, bud. Me and my man, I'll give you $20 when we get done. He's like, yeah, clapping. Nobody else clapping for that one. But we do. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. So we're supposed to. And by the way, it's a massive business. Somebody said to me the other day, well, are you worried about being saturated? I'm like, dude, everybody needs what we have, whether it's MedSup products, whether it's life insurance, whether it's cancer, whatever it is, everybody does. And there's hundreds of millions of people. You think so? When you say monster of a business, I think about how small our business is. Family First Life, how small our business is, John. When you go, there's 17,000. How many licensed life insurance agents, health agents are there, Cody, in the country? Do you know? Over 1 million. Oh, we're monstrous. We have 17,000. We'd be like the Cowboys. Sorry, I couldn't help it. I'm trying my best I can. But like, literally, we're tiny. And we'll do $1 billion with probably 25,000 people. There's somebody in here right now that will, and I'm sure you'll keep doing it, that will come back to this in 7 years and do more than we did. Guarantee it. And it could be you, Kat. Could be anybody. Could be anybody. But what you have to decide is stop waiting. When we launched a company, we had no money. We put these little paper signs up on all the walls that said, move fast and break things. Why? It seemed like a good, just seems like a good marching order. Like, move fast and break things. We didn't have an overabundance of capital. We didn't have an overabundance of technology, but we had an overabundance of the fact that we wanted to help other people win. We wanted to protect clients. And we're going to go to everybody's house, and no matter what, all we ever said, is that Chelsea? Oh, it's all like colored and stuff. That's pretty cool. I was trying to say your name really quick. Messed me up. I thought I was drinking again. Okay, Chelsea. Well, read it. It's hard. Chelsea, all we wanted to do was make sure that every time we left somebody's house that we said, you know what, we did everything we could do. Because at the end of the day, I think what we should be training people on and talking to them about and speaking into their souls and their hearts is what happens when people don't have the coverage we provide. That if you recruit me and you taught about phone script, I'm like, okay. Like when I got recruited, Jim was like, here's your phone script. I go, dude, they filled the lead out. I don't need a phone script. I'm just going to freaking call them up and tell them to come to their house. It's just weird. I was like, Tom, yeah, Shawn. So he gave me the lead, and I called him, and the guy answered, and then I didn't know what to say. I didn't know where I was supposed to be calling from. I said, hold on. Where am I calling from? And he's like, Mortgage Protection Center. I was like, oh, hold on. I'm from the Mortgage Protection Center. I'm getting back to you about that thing you filled out and sent back to me. The guy's like, well, I don't remember that. I go, good, neither do I. I just started working here. So I need to get the information out to you. And he's like, well, why can't you send it to me? I said, we already did. We can't keep doing that. That's awkward. Postal Service get mad. Back to you, back to me, back to you, back to you. So I'll come out tomorrow at 6. He said, to do what? I said, to get you the stuff you asked for, the information. He said, how long is it going to take? I said, you keep asking as many questions, it'll take a lot longer. He said, all right, sounds good. I'll see you tomorrow at 6. I said, sounds good. I hung up. He said, how did you learn how to do that? I said, do what? Call the guy and tell him I was coming over to his house? And I never wanted to be bogged down with, because here's the biggest issue. You want to come up here and talk at any event? Learn how not to care what people think. There's not one part of me on any moment of any day of any time that's like, John, you seem like a super cool dude just by looking at you, right? Super cool. But if John doesn't like me, what do you want me to do? Live my life going, I really hope John likes me. I mean, because the Bible says he can't judge me, but I know he's going to judge me, and I just want him to, when he judges me, to like me. If you can literally give that up and take that power back, which most of us can't, because it's hard, and I suck at a lot, but I promise you, I don't care what any of you are thinking. It's not crossing my mind. And if you can do that when you run your business, and you're just doing the best you can, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall on your face. So I've only been doing it 3 months. So what? That means your eyes are wide open and you're ready. Hey, I've had business failures before. That means you know what not to do. Hey, I have some personal stuff going on right now. Well, everybody you recruit's going to have personal stuff going on. So you're in a great place. I've never sold life insurance before. Have you seen the people that have and how they become successful? Not very intimidating. What I will tell you, in my humble opinion, is find your niche. I'm not saying don't go access, but there's a lot, paralysis by analysis is real. There's a lot of products to be offered. I'm not up here telling you once, dude, whatever you're in, if it's doing well by you, keep doing it. But find your area. When we partner with Integrity, they have all, I'm like, dude, we do this. This is what we do here. We do life, we do mortgage, we do final expense. Yeah, we do this over here. Yeah, we have supplemental products. We have all that. And we do have it. And we have other people that are really good at that. And by the way, please, if you've never sold it, stop talking. And don't give advice. And if they've never sold it, don't take their advice. Guy the other day was like, I've been working really hard in the business. He goes, but I haven't been able to be successful. He goes, my mentor says. I go, who's your mentor? He told me, I said, that dude ain't ever sold nothing. How's he your mentor? He's been a manager his entire life. He doesn't sell. Can you imagine if you go, I want my kids when they were young got in karate. And my daughter and my son, John, they're black belts like in 18 months. And I was like, I have special kids. They're bad. It's like they're legit. I didn't know how bad they were. That's awesome. I went to a tournament, brought him a tournament. Cody, I felt bad for the other kids because my kids were like black belts in 18 months. And my kids got knocked around. I realized my son, like, it was bad. Guy pulled me aside. He said, hey, dude, you know that place you go to? They just buy the belts. Every month, they just move you up for money. And I wanted to beat the guy up that ran it, but he was a legit black belt, I think. So I had to think a little bit about that. You know, if I got a hold of him, I knew he couldn't get away. But if I had to fight him straight out, he'd kick me and stuff. But can you imagine if my kids became adults and my son walked out in the parking lot to help a young lady and there's 3 guys there and he's doing the right thing, but he thinks, I'm a black belt, so I'm going to be fine, and then realizes he ain't an orange belt and gets beaten up. Don't talk about things you've never done. If you don't know, say you don't know. If somebody asks you a question, you don't have to be the all-knowing. It's okay to say, I don't know, let me get back to you on that. Is your name really Rock? That's awesome. You're welcome. I wish my name was Rock. So if Rock's done it, then you ask Rock about it. If he's not, keep it moving, please. And leads, somebody asked about leads. What's your best advice about leads? I'm like, they're all good. Sorry. You go, they're not. Yes, they are. They're all good, dude. I mean, I don't know, dude. If you find a certain lead that works for you, keep doing it. In today's world, I know what direct mail. I get all of it. I understand all of it. I've seen them all. When we talked to Cody about social media, that was new for us. We're always trying new things. But don't let people speak into this space that don't know what they're doing. And they will. They will. You've all had jobs where people don't know what they're doing and talk to you. Seniority, get out of here. You gotta be freaking kidding me. I was listening to this thing on Shat the other day. We were working our convention, trying to get people to speak. And I didn't realize how expensive some of them are. Holy. I was like, you get that for 45 minutes? He's like, what do you think? I'm like, we can't afford that. But I was listening to this thing where they said they were complaining, and he was talking at someone else I was at, and they said, they pulled Shaq aside and said, hey, man, you got to talk to Kobe because Kobe don't pass the ball. And Shaq was like, yeah, I got it. I'll talk to him. So went to practice. He's like, hey, Kobe, everybody on the team thinks you need to start passing the ball. There ain't no I in team, he said. You probably have some of you seen this. And he said, there ain't no I in team. There's an M-E in that mother father. But he did swear, okay? And in this business, you do have to focus on you. Me, that, and that pronoun, that's you. You have to be worried about you. You have to figure out what works for you. You have to decide where you start and where you stop. You have to give yourself a sense of urgency. You have to provide your own structure. Because anybody that you think is going to provide it to you, they can't be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have to grow through that. You have to challenge yourself. And by the way, it will suck. You will meet with people all day long and they will say no. But I'm telling you, I'll leave you with this. I struggled at the very beginning because I didn't get angry enough at myself for wasting my own time. The minute I got angry enough at me, not at the clients, not at the lead vendor, not at the carrier, when I got mad enough at me, when I was mad at myself, and I sat in this couple's house. I've been playing around this thing for 2-3 days. I'd run some appointments. They'd sell. Sometimes they'd cancel. Sometimes they wouldn't. I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to push. And I sat in this couple's house, and the wife said, thanks for everything. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming out. Which my previous 9 appointments, I said, okay, here's my information. Let's figure it out. Let me know what you want to do. And I don't know, man. My kids, I thought about both my kids. Thought about the bills I had to pay. I had a lot of bills. I've been married twice, by the way, to the same woman, so top that, okay? And divorced twice, so top that. I was thinking about how to support everybody I was supposed to support. I was thinking about, I drove an hour and 45 minutes to their house. I was thinking about the fact that I know they needed life insurance. I knew they needed it. And when she said that to me, I opened my some of you freak out. We had laptops, they were big and heavy. We had paper applications. For some of you, they were not on your phone. And I opened up my laptop and started checking stuff. And she said, can I help you? And I said, no, I'm good. And she said, well, we need you to, just need you to go. I said, well, I'm just checking my emails and stuff. And she looked at her husband. They're right in front of me. You know when the clients are talking about you and they're right in front of you? You need my bank? He wants banking information now? Yeah, I think he wants it now. This for real? He wants it now? And you're literally right in front of him. And she goes, this is uncomfortable. He goes, I know, he'll just leave in a minute. I'm right here. I'm 7 feet from them, right? And he says, so he steps in now. He's going to, hey, you know what? I think you need to leave. It's a little uncomfortable, he says. And I said, sir, I would agree with you. It's uncomfortable. It's actually less, I'm as uncomfortable as you are. I'm actually more uncomfortable because what I'm doing is less uncomfortable than the fact that you have policies. The office is like one file in the cabinet. It's right there. Your wife's the most organized person I've met in my life. You know where the policies are. You won't get them because you're trying to deflect getting life insurance and seeing if what you have is good. And if what you have is good, I'm going to leave you alone. I ain't going to bother nobody. She looks at her husband and goes, get the policies. He gets them. They're 15-year term policies. They're 3 months away from term, which they already knew. And I was like, here, why didn't you get this? I wrote them the policies. And I said to myself, I'm never, ever, ever going to do that again. Every single time in my life, I'm going to stand up for me, for this business, for what I'm doing. And if you guys do the exact same thing, every day, your business will change. But you should leave here going, how can I take my business to wherever I want to take it to? Because you all have your different goals. Not where anybody else thinks you should go, not who's going to be my mentor, not who's going to be my unbelievable spiritual leader here. You go to church, that's your person. You go work out, they got you. Here, you got you. And at the end of the day, you always have to have you. I want you all to succeed. I know how simple it is if you work hard, but please, when you leave here, start talking about how great you can be, not how great everybody else is. And actually, the Bible says the same thing too. You're not supposed to treat other people like that. They're not any better than us. So I love you all, appreciate y'all, thanks.
Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're gonna love. It's right there, click on it, see you in there.
When I first joined and decided to kind of jump in, it was kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I remember being out in the field. I went to my first home, my second home, my third home, and it was by the end of that